In 3, 2, 1. Pet Tips every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Eagle Country 106.3 and around the world. Compliments of Tiffany, our producer director. We've got a food recall. What does that mean? Let's talk about that. Yeah, just like regular food for people, there's food with regards to your pet that happen to be recalled from time to time, unfortunately.
Well, actually, and it's a lot more than you think. I mean, I get a Twitter feed from the FDA on a regular basis, and it shows how many things. And you would be surprised how many products are being recalled or infections for both dogs and people that are coming from some of these foods. So if you want to get educated on this, there's a couple places to go. Now, if you are a Twit, or whatever. Is it,
Twit.
Are you a Twit if you're a Twitter? I don't know. But if you do Twitter feeds, the FDA has a Twitter feed for pets and recalls, and you can get that feed. And I usually get that feed. And a lot of times I'll pass those on through my Twitter feed or through the Facebook page. So pay attention to our Facebook page, too, because they will show up on there.
Yeah.
But you can go to www.fda.gov. And once you get to that site, go ahead and click on the Animal and Veterinary tab. And then they'll usually have all the recalls in there. But at any given time, it's amazing. I mean, every single month, there's recalls.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think within the last year, we had one company that actually had to have all of its production facilities shut down because of salmonellosis. And I think ended up being 16 human cases from the dog food. So you got to be really careful. And again, they still haven't quite figured out what the issue with chicken jerky treats are. And there are certain brands that we've seen more problems than others. So my general advice is to stay away from the dehydrated chicken jerky treats till we really sort out what's going on. And again, stick with the big brands. Science Diet, Royal Canin, Purina. Those are the ones that we're less likely going to have problems with because of the fact they have huge R&D nutrition research wings, and so from that standpoint, those products are all well thought out and not going to get you in any trouble.
Now, we talk about recalls and we talk about FDA approved things, and you're saying with so many recalls, isn't the FDA doing their job? They are doing their job.
That's why they're being recalled.
Yes, and some of the recalls have nothing to do with the actual food. It's because salmonella, some of the hygiene, if you will, or lack thereof, plays a part of it.
Oh, absolutely. And when you stay with one of the Royal Canin, or you stay with Purina, or you stay with Science Diet, it's funny because you virtually never see those. And you'll hear, I heard people say, well, Science Diet had a bunch of recalls. During that whole thing when we had the stuff coming in from China when all the animals were dying and stuff like that, Hills had no recalls. No recalls. As a matter of fact, and what they did is they voluntarily stopped production of one because they could not track a particular source that they were getting from Canada. So rather than try and make sure to follow the chain of custody, they shut it down. And I can tell you this, any animal that we had on that food, they sent us a letter, they said, run blood work on everybody that got this food. I think we did 7 full CBCs in chemistry. Hills picked up the entire tab on that.
Wow.
So that's the kind of people say, well, Hills, no. They're a very, very ethical company.
Obviously.
And like I said, that's the only company that I know of that actively said, any patient where they're showing symptoms, not test them.
Okay.
So.
And we'll be back right after this message.